So this is the bridge, if y'all not aware, what happened up in Baltimore. So where the barge ran into the bridge, and it's a major port from what I understand, where like a lot of goods and stuff.
Yep, a lot of commerce go through.
A lot of commerce going through.
That's at the and that's at the gate of it. That's at the beginning of it. So it actually cuts off. It cuts off ships from getting to all of the major ports in the city.
Yeah, let's get that video.
Play that other video with the audio. Play the other video with the audio.
That was the Francis Scott Key Bridge.
Yeah.
Right, they're not the best. They're de minimis crews. Ships that size, they got, I remember, I think back when I was there, 10, 12-man crews. I think they've made them have bigger now, 20, 25. Not the most experienced. And particularly when something happens, that have been known to panic. But you have pilots. When you're in close quarters like that, you have pilots. But the key is that you have redundancy in your systems. And the systems are all up at the time. You have backup generators. You have backup propulsion. You actually you should be able to do hand propulsion if you have to. You have backup just so you don't crash into another ship or run aground or, run into the bridge, particularly the main part of the bridge. How the ship turned directly in that, and the pilot didn't drop the anchor. Now when they lost power, drop the anchor. Now dropping that anchor might have ripped the front of the ship apart. It might have, but you wouldn't have taken out the bridge and you wouldn't have killed the people on the bridge. It just doesn't make sense.
So this is the aftermath of the bridge collapse here in Baltimore, right? Not too far from here. What is probably about 35 minutes from where we are right now. We actually got members of the body that crossed that bridge to come to the school. So right now we're going to show you the actual crash of the bridge, and then we're going to get into a few scriptures here.
It's foggy. You can't see to the.
All right, so this is right afterwards too. You see the bridge sitting on the boat right there.
Because it collapsed during the nighttime. This is the after it collapsed right onto the ship. Yeah, I sent over a picture too. I sent over a picture showing the location of the bridge and all of the ports that it actually is blocking since it collapsed. So see if y'all can pull that up real quick. And then see if y'all can put that other video up too that actually shows the collapse, because it actually happened last night around I think it was between 1 and 3, between 1 and 3 p.m. I mean in the evening, a.m.
So you got to think they got to clean that whole thing out before they can have any more ships come through there.
Yep.
So that's a major port right there that bring a lot of materials, a lot of supplies in, and various things like that.
Yeah.
Put up the next picture.
We got the one of it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
there we go.
This is when it actually happened. As you can see, it's traffic going. It's actual traffic going through, and there's the ship coming in. So this is one of those big tanker ships, the ones that carry the cargo. And you see it's traffic going across the bridge, and it was construction also being done. Yeah. So they lost power. The ship had lost power and went right into the pillar.
Yeah, I was listening to somebody earlier talk about that. They said when they lose power, see how the lights came on?
Yeah.
They said that's a backup generator. You understand that? That was a backup generator because the ship light's supposed to be off.
Mm-hmm.
And then when that backup generator kicks on, the only thing you're supposed to be able to see is that beacon. But when that backup generator comes on, that's what makes the ship light up. So they lost power. You know what I mean? That's what we're saying. But that's it. That's okay.
It.
So
put up the map showing the location of the bridge and how many ports it blocked. So right there where the red X is, that is the location of the bridge that was hit. So you see all of those ports, major ports that support the Baltimore, Washington, D.C. area with goods leaving, going to and from. So it was a major impact on the area. I know there's a lot of talk whether it's a terrorist attack or whether it's just an accident. But you got some, Officer Michael?
Yeah, get me really quick Psalms 119 and 59. That's where I want to start it. Yeah, 59. Yep. Because a lot of those people, unfortunately, I think there were about 5 or 6 casualties on the bridge.
Those were
still 6 people missing.
Yeah. Those are construction workers, but from what I understand, they think it's up to 7 cars under the water. So they got cars in there too, from what I'm understanding.
And all praise to the Lord that no one from the congregation was affected by this event, because like Captain was saying earlier, and I also was saying earlier, a lot of our people, congregation members, they travel back and forth across that bridge. So they can go around now, but they normally travel that route. So all praise to the Lord.
Especially at the time that it went down, because we were actually in the new moon.
Yeah, we was leaving the school.
All praises that the class ran over and we stayed behind. Nobody was on the bridge from the body. Because I think the bridge actually went down at like 1 a.m., something like that.
You get verse 59, because none of us know like when our end is going to be, or when we're going to die or leave this earth. So we got to make sure that we're constantly moving in the Spirit.
The book of Psalms, chapter 119. Psalm chapter 119, verse 59. I thought on my ways and turned my feet unto thy testimonies.
Let's see what he did.
I made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments.
And delayed not to keep my commandments, because all praise to the Most High, none of us were on that bridge, but any one of us could have been driving on that bridge when it got hit. So we got to make haste to whatever sins we're battling, whatever commandments we're not keeping. We got to do those things today, yesterday, because we don't know when the end is going to be, and you don't want to die in your sin. And unfortunately, some of those men who died in that bridge weren't in the body, so we don't know if they're going to come back or what's going to happen with their souls, but they weren't in the truth. So we want to make sure when we leave this earth, we leave in righteousness, not living in wickedness and part of the world.
And also, I want to get something, because a lot of our people, we trust in Babylon. We think Babylon's going to be here forever. But the Lord is behind everything, you know what I mean? So he makes the engine fail. He the one that brought the bridge down, people on the bridge and stuff like that. I want to get to Isaiah 30 and 1. We're going to read down. Let's get that.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me.
Because now what are we looking to? We looking at politics, because things has gotten so bad. We looking at Trump. We looking at Biden. You know, that's where our trust is always. We don't ever want to come back to the Bible and come back to God's laws. Keep reading.
And that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
That's because at the end of the day, they don't want to keep the laws. They want to keep sinning. You understand?
Because their covering is what? Politics. Their covering is Christianity.
Finance.
Finances.
Education.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's their covering.
More schools built. Keep reading.
That walk to go down into Egypt.
So Egypt is, in this regard, just talk about here in the United States. They go down. They want to go to Washington, go to the Capitol, run for office.
Kamala Harris.
Even the churches. They had Joe Biden shuffling his feet up in the church. You know, they believe, they trust in the oppressor. Keep reading.
And have not asked at my mouth.
They won't go to the Lord because, God don't hear sinners. So if you ain't trying to keep the commandments, you ain't asking at the Lord's mouth anyway. Read.
To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
So what is that talking about? That's going into the strength of Pharaoh. That's talking about your political leaders, your religious leaders, or even your intellectuals, like what Deacon Malachi was bringing out on the Raven and Wolves. He was talking about how they, these intellectuals, they rely on their intellect, thinking they can fix the problems, but God is not dealing with that. Keep reading.
Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
See that? So now we have an incident like this. Like the Lord, he's the one that orchestrated that. He's behind that. And that's just a small thing that he could do. You understand that? Bringing down a bridge, how easy that happened. That was the Lord that was behind that. And we got to keep that in mind. We can't put our trust in this place. This whole place is in the midst of collapse. If you look at the infrastructure, the decadence, even the roads, like we went up to Philly, and it felt like I was on a Baja. It was so many potholes in the road. That joke was crazy. Like, if you go to a place like Dubai, you don't see no potholes. You look at the infrastructure there. So this is just the way that the country, the infrastructure of the country is collapsing. It's in decline.
that's a good point. You got something, also?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I just want to touch real quick on what Officer Mandel was saying about trusting in politics, and I guess Sirach 9 and 11, and about we want to be, because every time we want to trust them intellectuals, they want to say we got to get money like them, we got to get infrastructure like them, we got to have organizations like them. But let's see what the Bible says about that, about wanting to be like these other nations or like some of our own people who are in the world.
The book of Sirach, chapter 9, verse 11. Envy not the glory of a sinner.
So we shouldn't be envying the customs or the ways of these heathen nations or our people that follow these customs. Why?
For thou knowest not what shall be his end.
So we don't know what the end is going to be, but according to the scriptures, if they don't repent from their ways is going to be death. So we got to follow what the Bible says, because the promises we have in Romans 9 and 4 is way greater than anything they have on this earth. Keep reading.
Delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in.
So we shouldn't be delighting in politics, democracy, Catholicism. I'm a Republican, I'm conservative, I'm a liberal, I'm this, I'm that. Keep reading.
But remember,
the things that they have pleasure in,
they shall not go unpunished unto their grave.
Because they're not following after Christ and the commandments. They're following after these worldly things, these floods that are set up by the deceiver.
Hey, also to continue with what Officer Mandel was saying about the decadence and the decline of this kingdom, put up that next video about San Diego, California. Put that next video up real quick. Put it up. Y'all got it?
San Diego has always been one of the most beautiful places in the world. Very clean, very friendly, very safe. And now if you try to go to downtown San Diego, you have to walk through miles and miles of encampments that are worse than Bangladesh. Trash everywhere, people using drugs in the open air, people defecating and urinating on the street. You'd take your life in your hands if you had to walk a mile down in downtown San Diego. And we're having situations where people are being assaulted. There's all kinds of problems with that. There's no reason to live that way. This is a political ideology. This is a decision that homelessness should be acceptable. And frankly, California has passed laws that have made it almost impossible for cities to do any kind of enforcement. They've really basically said to the people throughout the country, come to California and be homeless. We'll give you lots of benefits, lots of money, and we won't bother you. You can do drugs on the street. You can steal up to $950 a day without being arrested. You can be violent without being arrested. California has become a much, much worse place. San Diego has always been one of the most beautiful places in the world. Very clean, very friendly.
Damn, man. Y'all see how far that place is falling? But it go to the point you were saying, dealing with the infrastructure in this country, is this thing is just totally decaying and crumbling, just like the moral standards, the decadence as well.
You heard about the laws where they allowing people to steal and things like that?
Up to $950.
And, I was just making a comparison because if you look at the United States today and you look at a country like Dubai, because that's pretty much like the top country.
Right.
And America's supposed to be the greatest country on earth, right? Mm-hmm. Supposed to be. I mean, according to the Bible, we know it is, but it's. Well, I'm
in
talking
wickedness.
about and wickedness and all of that, and power and everything.
Right.
So we're not saying that, but we're saying if you look at the infrastructure of that country, and then even the crime and stuff, you don't have people can steal up to $900 over there. Remember the lady got loud with one of them Ishmaelites. The trucker lady that went over there and they locked her up. You can't even. Look at the stuff that go on in this country.
Right.
Like, they don't tolerate that stuff over there.
Man, it got so bad out there, especially in California, they actually got people eating people on the streets. Oh, yeah, let's get that. Roll like that TMZ clip, man. Say? We ain't lying.
Hey, ¿te la estás comiendo?
That is a human leg that he's holding there. So he's literally eating a human leg on the side of the street.
Come on, man.
We ain't seen nothing yet because wait till the effects of this famine and everything kick in, and people realize, it's starting to creep up now where you can't afford groceries.
Right.
And, they got all of these. I'm just going to use the term immigrants because I don't know the proper political term. They got 15 million people that came in this country in less than 3 years with the border. They're allowing this thing to happen. We talked about this before. And all these people getting debit cards. and things like that to sustain them, and cell phones, and they got them in hotels. And from what people are saying, I don't know if it's true, but they're saying that they're going to just all of a sudden stop the payments. So you got 15 million people that's not going to no longer have no way of
feeding themselves.
Yeah, and stuff like that. At some point, that's got to stop. So what are all of them people going to do in this country? You got Chinese, you got you got Ishmael up here. You think Ishmael ain't going to eat?
Nah, Ishmael ain't going for that. But, man, we got any more clips from the world news we want to play before we move on to the next segment? Oh, yeah, okay. All right, yeah, cover that. Let's pull that up. All right, so as y'all know, what happened in Moscow, they had an attack. I think over 100 people got killed in that attack. 140. Go ahead, roll that real quick. So this is the live footage that took place there. You saw the gunman through on the other side of the door shooting. So, and y'all could drop that. And they claim that ISIS took responsibility for it. So, and it's a funny thing that ISIS always attacks the enemies of America. And Israel. Yeah. So, you know, what does ISIS stand? What do they say it stand for?
Yeah, something Islamic State.
Islamic State.
It should be USA instead of ISIS, because that's who's behind it.
Israeli Secret Intelligence Service is probably what it stands for. Really.
Yeah. It's really United States.
No, it is. It is. Matter of fact, I'm going to see if we can play this real quick. And to prove it, because people say, well, these guys are just making things up. That's not the U.S. Okay. We're going to see. I'm going to send something over here, and I want y'all to play this.
Hey, I've never seen a terrorist group that had 8K execution footage before.
Right.
So, I mean,
damn.
Somebody got to be backing them. They had 4 or 5 different camera angles. They had B-roll. They had the people getting mic'd up in that joint.
Right.
Dropping Rebel on them. That joint was crazy.
And not only that, remember, a lot of people are saying, and they see it suspicious, how they got into that area of Russia without being detected.
They ain't get out, though. That's for sure.
They definitely ain't get out.
So
definitely didn't get out.
ISIS supposedly stands for, ISIS is Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, and they're also known as ISIL, Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant.
Right. Hey, I posted in the world news. Let's see if we can roll this. Let's see who's training and funding them. Maybe, you know, we just making things up.
Yeah. Is it still downloading, or we good? We good. Here we go.
The additional steps I ordered last month were speeding up training of ISIL forces, including volunteers from Sunni tribes in Anbar province. We're speeding up training of ISIL forces, including volunteers from Sunni tribes in Anbar province.
Yeah, so I'm going to explain this, because a lot of people don't understand what's going on or what's said there. United States trains up these enemies to have them go into other countries, overthrow other countries. That gives them the excuse to go in and save them. So they create the enemy to come in to destroy your country, and then use that same enemy to come in and actually be able to bring, give a reason for the United States to bring their military in there.
Right. Like, remember Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
He was a CIA informant.
That was the reason why. That's one of the biggest reasons why they was really pissed at Trump, because they spent a lot of money on ISIS. Remember, they was fighting ISIS for what, like 12 years or whatever it was?
Something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that, because they make a lot of money off those contracts, those military contracts and stuff like that. And then Trump came in there and actually destroyed ISIS in like 2 months.
Right.
And ended the war.
And that's why this place, everybody knows what's going on. Like, give me Isaiah 47. Watch this. Because all the stuff, them operating in the dark and in the clandestine, all this stuff is being revealed. People looking like, hold on. ISIS is always attacking, coincidentally attacking the enemies of America. People looking at the bridge collapse like, hold on, this thing had 10 generators on there. They got multiple redundancy systems. How does it knock the bridge over? Now they can't get any cargo in and out. You know, like, read that, man. Let's read that.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 1.
Come on.
Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
So this is talking about America. Come on.
Sit on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
There is no throne.
There's
daughter,
what?
There is no throne.
Meaning this place, this thing ain't going to be ruling over the kingdoms of the earth anytime soon. Coming up in the future near you. Come on.
O daughter of the Chaldees. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Come on.
Take the millstones and grind meal. Uncover thy locks. Make bare the legs.
So this thing is, you got sisters wore long dress. This also will let you know that the sisters wore dresses. But said make bare the leg, meaning what? The skirt is being pulled up. Come on.
Uncover the thigh.
Now, so it goes up to the knee. Now the thigh's being showed. Come on.
Pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered.
So it says, as a woman that passed over the river got to lift up her dress, so was the nakedness of America being revealed. Everybody looking like, damn, this place is behind all the evils. This place is wicked as hell. Come on.
Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance. And I will not meet thee as a man.
That's when Christ come back. He not coming back as the man they put up on the cross. He coming back with that power to destroy. So make no mistake about it. These things that they're doing, the Lord is revealing all that. Give me Luke 12. And also this goes for us as well. We can't do no secret thing. Understand that thing. The Lord is revealing the evil, man. Read Luke 12 and 2.
The book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 2.
Matter of fact, start at verse 1 because we coming up here on the Passover.
Luke, chapter 12, verse 1.
Come on.
In the meantime, when there were gathered together an innumerable multitude of people, insomuch that they trode one upon another, he began to say unto his disciples, first of all, beware ye of the leaven of the Pharisees.
He said, he's talking to his disciples, his followers. He said, be ye aware of the what?
Beware ye of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy.
We can't be hypocrites. We can't go out there. We teaching the truth. We showing our family members, sending them videos. And then meanwhile, back at the ranch, we living like niggas. We got to be aware. That's the same thing that the scribes and Pharisees, they was teaching the law, but they wasn't keeping it. Come on.
For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed.
So that goes for us, also for the so-called white man. All his stuff coming out. All his evils coming out. Now the spotlight on Hollywood and all the wickedness. This thing is getting crazy. Come on.
Neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken.
That's good. That's good. I just wanted to show, according to the scriptures, no evil deed is those things coming to the light, man. They sitting back thinking they still planning these missions and people don't know who it is. The gig is up. Is that what they say?
This is
or
war.
The jig is up? Come on.
This is war.
Right.
Jig is up. Jig is up.
Right. So what we got next?
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in